Hey guys, Noel here, and it is Tuesday night, and while I have a little bit of free time on my hands, although not too much because I am working with a deadline as far as my manga contest. I'm basically on schedule, but I did want to take a little bit of a break and make sure I was keeping up with my streaming schedule, but this stream might be a little shorter than normal because I would like to do some starting on my next page of my manga. If you're curious to see the progress that I've made, we can do that. But I thought it might be fun to play some of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, starting off at least with some All-Star Battle. This is a very fun game. We actually have some Kenny Lauderdale on the lovable Trinitron playing YouTube. Oh, look, it's the Doozy Bots. It's the Americanized Gundam cartoon with chibi Gundams. SD Gundams. Good stuff. Anyway, so we're going to play some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. Now, Hirohiko Araki, his style I find very interesting. Basically, you take Greek gods, Fist of the North Star, and Prince, and you combine them all together, and you get JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, a very flamboyant yet hyper macho anime. It's good stuff. It's got great music as well, and the video games for it are not bad at all. So we're gonna play probably it's not the best fighting game. The best fighting game I'd say is the Capcom fighting game, which we can play a little bit of, but I'd say this fighting game that we're going to be playing really has a nice encapsulation of the manga and a lot of the animes. So we're going to check that out. We've played this a bit on the stream before, but I thought this stream, which I'm not planning again on being quite as long as the other streams, but I thought it would still be fun to take a little bit of a deeper dive into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle, and then we'll see what else we end up playing in terms of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Of course, with our streams, we're never limited to what we have for our theme, but our theme pretty much gives us a kind of a framework and guidance and roadmap for kind of what the stream is going to be. Pony Metal U-Gaim. I don't know, man. This is some cool stuff. Some doujinshi turned anime turned MSX game. Once again, Kenny Lauderdale. This channel is really good. Gaijillionaire Kenny Lauderdale. Good channels to watch on YouTube when you're not watching the Noel ComiX YouTube channel. Anyway, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle is brought to you by the fine people at PlayStation 3. The PS Triple, brought to you by Chad Warden. It's where dreams come true. They got that ABAP. It's as ballin' as possible. So anyway, we're going to play some JoJo. Set up our camera like so. Get some All-Star Battle moving and grooving. We're going to fight with style. And we'll play some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. Now, the cool thing about this game is that you have an arcade mode, which is always nice, because a lot of fighting games don't have arcade modes. It's ridiculous. It's stupid that they don't have a lot of arcade modes just included off the bat with fighting games. They'll usually make it like downloadable content. There's been enough of a fan backlash so that's changing. But for example, Street Fighter V came with no arcade mode, and it was like that for about a year. But JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle includes an arcade mode, and you get a real nice sense of the manga aesthetic mixed with these cel-shaded PlayStation 3 graphics. And honestly, this style is used in a lot of the opening credits to the David Productions JoJo's Bizarre Adventure anime. And the cool thing about this game is that it goes all the way up to the present in terms of JoJo manga with JoJolion, the 8th JoJo, which takes place in the alternate timeline that starts with Steel Ball Run, and thematically, although not canonically, goes with the idea of a new universe, which starts at the end of Stone Ocean. So, let's watch this opening. I'll grab my trusty controller. It's President Funny Valentine. So you see we have one viewer, Feel free to comment. Just let me know that you're able to comment. Or don't. Just sit quietly and watch. Stalk away. That's completely fine. It's Anna Sui who's talking. I'm going to actually zoom out a little bit. Lucky Land. We're going to keep fighting with style, and we're going to keep adjusting our camera here. Ta-da! Wait, one more second. This game does a really, really nice job. It doesn't play as Capcom-y, obviously, as the Capcom JoJo's Bizarre Adventure based on Stardust Crusaders, which I think is the pinnacle of JoJo Fighter. But this game, really nice graphics, really, really good detailed encapsulations of Araki's artwork, and the gameplay is fun as well. Why don't we start off with some arcade mode with Robert E.O. Speedwagon. And we're going to play this on normal. Ringo, the man of Mandem. Incidentally, if you haven't seen the Mandem cologne commercials with Charles Bronson, you need to, because they're amazing. Now, the cool thing here is that since we have pretty much all the all-stars of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we have people using Haman, we have vampires, we have stand users, we have horseback riders. It's all good. We have dogs that use stands. And the interesting thing about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we have Lisa and the Cult Jam. Interesting thing about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is in Shonen Jump, puns are accompanied, or thematic names are accompanied with the manga often, and what Araki's puns of choice are is Western music. So, in some of the localizations of JoJo, if the musicians are not super enthusiastic about lending their names, characters' names have to get changed, but the Japanese, if it's subtitled, you can still hear the proper names spoken in Japanese because they're American names anyway. So, for example, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind, Narancia, his stand is called Aerosmith, after the band Aerosmith. But it's called Tiny Bomber or Little Bomber in Golden Wind. And, yeah, so there you go. Who do we want to be? I'm tempted to be Josuke from JoJolion, Gappy, but why don't we be, let's be Jotaro, because he's really the most iconic JoJo. Yarde daze. So, ooh, Diavolo. So this is a real dream match here. You have Jotaro, who can stop time, and Diavolo, who can predict the future and erase time. So it would be an interesting fight between these two. I'm not quite sure if this Jotaro has the ability to use Star Platinum the World. Definitely, I mean, this Jotaro does, but I'm not sure if this Jotaro has the moveset of his fight during and after Dio or not, honestly. I have played this game to the point where I've beaten all the story modes, but I have not mastered all the characters. It's King Crimson, the 21st century schizoid man. Orda! There's Star Platinum, the most, again, iconic stand. Of course, we're all super annoyed that Pucci used Jotaro's face like a disc changer, which is actually one of my favorite drawings that Araki has done. I just wish Jotaro had killed Pucci, not the other way around, but that's a spoiler. But then again, this manga is decades old, so shouldn't be any surprises. Now, with the stand users, by hitting R1, you can bring out your stand. So I have brought out Star Platinum, Diavolo has brought out King Crimson. Sadly, you can't be Pornolef in a wheelchair, which I actually really like that character. And I actually think Chariot Requiem is a very cool looking stand. Ah, shoot. I'm not in your range. So you can't trap me in your alternate dimension. Diavolo is one of the... shoot! He's trapped me in his dimension. No. Okay, so Diavolo basically has two stands. No, he's got one stand, King Crimson. And King Crimson, it's got the ability to erase time. So Eulogy is the little thing on King Crimson's head, which can predict the future. And then Diavolo can erase that future and act accordingly to dodge what he saw happening. So it's a convoluted but interesting stand. All the bad guys in JoJo, the big bad guys, at a certain point, they all deal with time. They can erase time, they can alter time, they can freeze time, all kinds of good stuff. Fugo, the man who left the modern Crusaders of Light, because he couldn't bring himself to fight Diavolo, because Diavolo is quite terrifying. Now, Diavolo, who is one of the most despicable villains in really any anime, really gets the worst possible death possible, and that is an infinite loop of deaths, as he is caught in Gold Experience Requiem's power, which is basically a loop of infinite deaths in varying degrees. So yeah, there's that. You're just trapped in infinite dimensions of you perpetually dying. As terrible as Diavolo is in the manga, a lot of readers are like, "What? That's a little too harsh even for Diavolo." But Araki says, no, Diavolo is a piece of garbage who deserves what he gets. Yare dase. How Jotaro nonchalantly walks toward his enemy. Now, there is another JoJo game in this style, Eyes of Heaven, which is kind of like a cross between like an RPG and Power Stone. And I have dabbled a bit in it. It is fun. We actually played it a bit on our last live stream. Had some fun. It really is interesting to see how Araki's art style has changed. I'm really a fan of all of his art styles. I would say I am... Stardust Crusaders is, I think, my favorite of his styles. I really think his art has gotten very exquisite with JoJolion and Steel Ball Run. I do kind of miss the more Hokuto no Ken physiques on his characters. Like, you'll see him draw modern versions of his classic characters like Jonathan, and he'll make them all skinny. That's a little odd, because Jonathan is basically Victorian Kenshiro. And, Kenshiro does not look like a, I don't know, like a scrawny, badass male model. I don't know. So, retired. Now, I was talking to a friend of mine who I'm trying to get into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and the thing is, he binge-watched the first season, which is the first 2 arcs of JoJo, and it's fantastic. That really is more like Fist of the North Star, set in Victorian England, and then 1930s, pre-World War II, U.S. and Europe. And he's a big fan, and then he watched the first few episodes of Stardust Crusaders, which shift into stand combat, and he's like, I just couldn't get into the stands. I'm like, dude, you've got to give that more of a chance, because once you start getting into the stand battles, the fights get so strategic and creative. It's really, really worth watching. Now, actually, this is a dream match right here. You have Jotaro versus Cars. You might think I'm crazy, but all I want is you, and who's going to drive you home tonight? Cars, Wham, and AC/DC, the villains of the second arc, the Battle Tendency. I'd say my favorite JoJo is Joseph, mainly because he's hilarious, and I love the badass old man Joseph, and I am a fan of the smart aleck, Jonathan 2.0 Joseph, although Jonathan 2.0 is in Steel Ball Run technically, but you know what I mean. They share the same design. My son always wants to be Cars or Iggy. Now, Cars has a funny fate. He basically becomes immortal. So what they do is they shoot him into space, and he loses his mind, floating through the vacuum of space. Good stuff. It truly is a bizarre adventure. Speaking of Kenny Lauderdale, which we weren't, but we were earlier, his YouTube channel on Obscure Anime. He like ends up reviewing this one anime done by the people who made the creator of Armor Trooper Botoms, and the main character's name is JoJo, and he says, "Now we start JoJo's Bizarre Adventure." One thing I really like to do while I draw my manga is to watch fan dubs of the manga, like video comics. Marvel actually did a couple of those on DVD, like some X-Men and Wolverine comics. I actually have a Watchmen comic like that DC did, where they basically just take the panels of the comic and narrate them, and try to add some minimal animation to them. And there are various projects that do that with Steel Ball Run and JoJolion and Stone Ocean, the JoJo's that have not been animated. However, I mean, it's so hard to do that. Come on. There's a good super move I can pull off here. And that's not it. I can't remember how to do it. Is that it? No, that's not it. Well, that worked, though. Retired. Alright, piss off. Well, not you, my one viewer right now. Sitting in silence. Unless I can't read the comments, which could be happening. Ooh, it's Season 1 Dio versus the man who will ultimately kill him. That's some good stuff. So, this is before Dio gets the world, and he's basically just a super strong, psychotic Victorian vampire with a personality cult. And I wondered what that hum was. Santino turned on my monitor. So you're sitting in the game room and you're like, what is that noise? There's like a hum. I'm gonna get out of the way of that thing that's gonna fall right there. Interesting thing about this game is you're basically I love how they have events that happen in the manga, happen in the levels, themed around said scenes in the manga. So for example, if you're fighting in Cairo, they basically show the scene where Dio hijacks the politician's car and it slams through the level. Here, this is Stone Ocean. I have not read Stone Ocean, sadly. I've seen some animanga, basically, of the first few chapters, and I really like it. There's some people tend to say that, they don't like it for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, I know that, a lot of the good guys, in one dimension at least, take the L. But, I don't know. It seems like an interesting story, and it's got a happy ending, kind of. I've got a really cool picture on my social media, actually, of Clint Eastwood and Hirohiko Araki. And Araki is giving Eastwood a newer picture of Jotaro. And Clint Eastwood is doing the pose. It's actually really cool. Ah, shoot! I've said this a million times, but I live in the town that Ronnie James Dio was born in and from. He grew up in. So Dio Way, a street named after Dio, is a very real thing in my hometown. My place of residence, if you will. See, the thing that Dio did to Jotaro that really sealed his fate is he pissed him off. What with killing several of his friends and looking like he killed Joseph before that, nifty blood transfusion. Cool thing about Jotaro is how his hat and his hair meld together. Okay, now this is Stand Dio with the world, where he is, got Jonathan Joestar's body. He's got a new sense of style, and he has a stand that can freeze time. So this is actually a really cool design for Dio, because early on in Stardust Crusaders, you basically don't see Dio's face. You just see this picture of him that Hermit Purple generates. And so it's basically his face is kind of obscured in shadow. The thing in JoJo's, they always got to be... These stands are basically reflections of the soul of the different characters. But they all have different strengths and weaknesses, including range. Okay, so this is interesting, because we have the stand-using Dio in the vampire... I mean, Dio's always a vampire, but we're in the Season 1 Dio's crib, basically. As opposed to the mansion in Cairo. Nice. Hey, Arrow! How you doing, man? Ah, wow. Glad to be able to take your mind off some of the BS. Playing some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming. It's probably going to be a little bit shorter than normal, just because I do want to get a little bit of my manga done more so than ever. I finished a page today. The deadline is the 1st, so I've definitely got time still. I'm in the thick of the climax, the final fight. We were doing really well against Dio, and now we're not. But now we are. Take a good dose of Star Platinum. So this is the All-Star Battle. Now, I was saying this earlier in the stream. I don't know if I can do Star Platinum the world with Jotaro in this game. I know I can do Star Platinum the world in Eyes of Heaven. But, yeah, not sure if I can do it in this game. But Dio can clearly freeze time. Ah, shoot! I'm in his range, and he froze time! Ah! I like that we get to hear Dio scream the world, though. That is, like, one of the best things in any anime. Ah, come on! Star Platinum, get out! Ah, grr. Oh man, I was going for a snug orda, and Dio beat me to the punch there. Yeah, there's his trademark pose. Would you happen to know any way of rolling chairs out there? What? The one I've got on hand is on the brink of being absolutely broken. Yeah, I do have a rolling chair if you really want. I have no idea how I'd get it to Jersey or Long Island, wherever you're at. But yes, I do have a rolling chair. It's in my mom's garage. If you are really in need of it, it's yours. But I'd have to figure a way to get it down to you. you know? Check eBay too, man. That could be a thing. I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, Salvation Army too. Those like they gotta have something, or maybe like a local church. Like if you're active in a church or something like that, you know, you might have some random stuff they don't need. But yeah, I hear you, man. Rolling chairs. That's one of those things where you really, on the one hand they're easy to get. On the other hand, when you need them, it's like you don't have them. No, I don't mean to buy it off you. Oh, I don't know, man. Ah, jeez. I'm trying to, like, throw him, but he keeps blocking me with the world. Yeah, man. The only thing better than Dio yelling the world is Jotaro yelling Star Platinum the world. Because that is, like, just one of the coolest things. I've been waiting a long time to pay you back. Yeah, no, I know. I hear you, man. I was really lucky actually. They were giving away a couple of nice rolling chairs in the teachers' lounge at my work. They just said free on them, so I was like, all right, these would be perfect for my game room. This Jotaro has got some styling clothes. In Kira Yoshikage's house. Arrow, are you a JoJo enthusiast? My comfort may be ruined, but at least the stream. Yeah, I'm happy to ease the pain. Well, I'm happy. In that case, I'm happy. I was almost. Oh, jeez. I almost didn't stream tonight because I'm thinking like, oh, my scheduling with my manga. But I actually was thinking like, yeah, I did a whole page today, so I'm definitely. I mean, I'm pretty much on pace. And I always stream on Monday or Tuesday. I'm thinking of having my new schedule be like Tuesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Friday. Do 2 days a week, and I think that would be, that I think it'd be a good balance for everyone. People won't get burnt out, and I'll have time to do what I need to do. Although, I mean, I really do like doing this. I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't like it. So this is not a burden in any way, shape, or form. But I would like to be able to make sure I'm on pace with my manga, or if I got any RPGs I want to play, something like that. Wednesday I always watch AEW Dynamite. What are we doing here? Come on, come on, come on! I won that one. So fun fact. Seeing quite a bit of it, I don't think I'm necessarily the biggest JoJo fan. Okay. Occasional interest. I do believe that it's one hell of a bizarre adventure. That it is. And it gets increasingly bizarre as the series progresses. There's a JoJo. I think the only JoJo game I don't have is the JoJo's Super Famicom RPG, which is available on Etsy. The person who made the cartridge said that there's something weird with the status menu, but you don't actually need the status menu. So I don't know. So I mean, I'll probably pick it up once I get some disposable income. My my growing collection of Super Famicom RPGs, that have unofficial English translations, are coming from this store that I'm thinking of. It's called Fancy Games, and they do really nice color cartridge repros of games that were never released in the United States for Super Nintendo. Ah, jeez, that was not good. This freaking possessed ghost Polaroid over here. It is interesting when you watch kind of the anime manga of Stone Ocean that fans just do on YouTube. Jotaro actually looks younger in Stone Ocean than he does in Stardust Crusaders, but they try to give him like a gruffer voice. Got him. Hey, Nick! Yes! JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is what we're playing. Playing some All-Star Battle. And the theme for this stream is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Just saying that I think the only JoJo game I don't have is the Super Famicom RPG, which I am pretty sure I'm just going to end up buying off of the Fancy Games Etsy store. The only thing that gives me a little bit of pause is that the seller said that, hey, there is a kind of a well-known glitch with the English translation of the game where when you access the kind of needless status menu, the game freezes up, but you don't actually ever need to access the status menu to beat the game, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to... Maybe there's a better copy, or maybe that's just it. But either way, this guy or girl, whoever who's in charge of that store, makes just really pretty repros that work fantastic on at least authentic Super Nintendo hardware. I don't know how they play on the clone consoles. So we are in the battle tendency fight with Wamu, or Wham, of Last Christmas and Ancient Vampire fame. So I'm beating up my daughter's friend here. Now, I haven't read enough Stone Ocean to really know about Hermes' stand. Got Lisa and cars in the background. Nice, pretty super combo finish. The JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Capcom game was actually made on the Model 3 hardware. There's actually a really good video by Top Hat Gaming Man about JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, the Capcom arcade game. And I gotta tell you, the PlayStation port of that is really, really competent. You know, the PlayStation could not handle Street Fighter 3 Third Strike by any stretch of the imagination. It couldn't handle Street Fighter 3 New Generation or any of the Street Fighter 3s. But it did a very respectable job with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and a very fun port of that arcade game. Now, I have a repro of the Dreamcast version in Japanese, which is also very nice, which my wife got me for Easter. It is a very hard-to-find game. I stumbled across this game at GameStop one day. I wasn't even into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I knew it was good, and I knew I liked fighting games, and I saw a fighting game at GameStop, so I picked it up. And honestly, it wasn't really until I started watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which started because I got Pluto TV with my smart TV, and I stumbled across JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and at that point they were in Golden Wind. And I just thought it was... Yeah, I knew it was good. And, I just got more and more into it. Actually, the first JoJo I had seen was actually an Adult Swim episode. A Toonami episode, I should say. Which was Joseph running around with the sentient boil. And I thought that was just hilarious. And so I knew that the series was good. But I didn't realize how good it was until I started watching it in Japanese. So here's Koichi with Echoes. Now, Koichi and Jotaro are good friends. And nice outfit that Koichi's wearing. With the Lucky Land. So I don't know if you guys should definitely check out the finale of Diamond is Unbreakable. In addition to the fact that it's got Savage Garden for the closing credits with their Chicka-Cherry Colas. Actually, I had a Chicka-Cherry Cola today, and I was thinking I intentionally got it because of the ending of the fourth JoJo. Basically, Koichi and Jotaro team up to kill David Bowie. It's quite good. And never give up on your dreams. Jotaro starts off as a juvenile delinquent, but becomes a renowned marine biologist with his love of dolphins and hats that meld into his hair. I actually really want to get a Jotaro snapback with like the dolphin and the dolphin and the O that's spelled Joe. You know? I can't remember if it's like a dolphin in a hand or a dolphin in an O. I think it's a dolphin in a hand, because Rotaro's always got a hand on his hat. There we go. Now, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has definitely had an impact on my artistic style. I've pretty much began accentuating lips and eyelashes as a result of this anime, and definitely have been experimenting a lot more with poses and kind of that pin-up mentality of, make a character in a dynamic, interesting pose. I mean, and Jim Lee also has made that kind of... Jim Lee, Roy Lichtenstein, Hirohiko Araki, and Akira Toriyama. I always say that. That would really be my four, I think, biggest things that I think of when I draw. Not exclusively, though, but... I mean, those are some real idols of mine artistically. I'm a big fan of 80s pop art, and you really kind of get a lot of that with Hirohiko Araki's style. And it's interesting, like Diavolo, for example, very much a typical Italian tough guy, but he's got long pink hair, wears a fishnet shirt, looks like he's got mascara and lipstick on. But everyone looks like they have mascara and lipstick on in JoJo, pretty much. Beat the game. So it looks like Koichi was the boss there. Ooh, we got the S ranking. International Channel for life. Hey, International Channel fan. I love the International Channel, man. I used to talk to Gary Wallace. Gary Wallace was awesome. He sent me Chinese New Year cards. I'm a fan of the CIA and want to talk to you about Tooth and Black conspiracies. Do you also want to talk to me about Metallica? Because that's also a thing. Definitely Tooth and Plaque conspiracies and Metallica. These are very serious things, and I personally think that toothpaste is created by the liberal media. I'm sorry, plaque. Plaque is a figment of the liberal media, designed to get you to buy useless appliances and pastes. And I've yet to see a reason to brush your teeth. But I do see a reason to click on lots and lots of pop-up ads, because you will win big money and get to meet lots of women. Some of them may have beards, and you want to try to avoid them. But, do watch out for the Internet Wizard, though, because the chip that he'll implant in your brain is so painless that it's no wonder he's number one. I'm a huge, huge fan of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, at least before it got, kept changing its name and got, bizarrely dark. Rogue Drums, how the hell are you, man? But yeah, any viewer named International Channel for life is combining my love of the International Channel and the NWO. That is a hell of a name, dude. And it is an honor to have you on the stream and on the channel. Thank you very much. So we're playing some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I wish I could actually upload more International Channel stuff, but my son lost my capture card device. The only laptop I have is a work laptop, which is actually a Chromebook, which I probably should not fill with captured International Channel footage. And I am a little skittish about uploading copyrighted stuff, because I have gotten I'm pretty sure I'm strike free right now. But every once in a while I do get a strike. But, I'm pretty good. Cool, I'm glad you're doing well. Very, very good. We just beat the arcade mode on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the All-Star Battle. I think it might actually be fun for us to go through a story. And once again, with Ringo, I highly encourage you to YouTube Charles Bronson Mandem Japanese commercial. It might help to upload in various parts. That is a good idea. That would take some time. I mean, I'm definitely not lazy, but it is some time to, kind of break it up. I just got to get a better freaking laptop, dude. The laptop that I have just doesn't work. It runs like a mule that's been shot in the head. And then my Chromebook works fine, but I don't have any, I can't put anything on it, I mean, the only thing I can put on it are little Daniel Tiger games for my son. That's about as far as I'll go. Can I play through Joe? Have I beaten Joe Jolian? Let's play through Joe Jolian here. Rumi Sugimoto. Oh, we have not. Did we? Episode 1, Phantom Blood. What do we... Okay, so... I don't know if I've actually done Part 8 here. So what do I do here? Do I just... Because Part 8 is still going on. Yeah, my laptop does suck. Good laptops on eBay. Diego, how the hell are you? No, don't worry about it, man. Playing some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So, Joe Jolian, I know a little bit about, and I've, seen the first few chapters, and they're really good. Fun fact, the Josuke in this continuity has 4 testicles. That's not me being inappropriate. That's literally a thing. So this manga, one of the themes, and again, I haven't read a lot of it, I just know a little bit about it. You know, it's the kind of like tying in aspects of the Pillar Men, Morio, um, you know, so basically that. Yeah, I mean, from what I can tell, those are the two biggest influences. There doesn't seem to be a big villain though thus far in JoJolian. So I don't actually know how the playthrough for this is actually going to work. Because Phantom Blood, it looks like I'm supposed to be fighting Jonathan, but Jonathan's from a different timeline. The other thing about when you play this in story mode, yeah, no, it's true. I might be able to find you one that fits. Hang on, I might be able to find you one that fits the stuff you want. If you never find yourself needing to buy a new one. Oh, interesting. Testicles. Yes, that is a funny word. And horse poop. Well done. Alright, so we have literally the most classic Araki. If you want to see how Araki style has changed over time, this is it right here. This is the first JoJo versus the current JoJo. And, you know, you have Kenshiro versus a flamboyant sailor who does have a very nice looking girlfriend. His stand is... So he basically kind of looks like Elvis. His stand is called Soft and Wet, which is a Prince reference. And he's got that sort of luck and pluck that he's slicing me up with. Josuke, JoJolian Josuke, he basically fights with bubbles. So it's like a Caesar reference. And, you know, the thing is, you know, by the time you get to JoJolian, the stand fights do start getting really, really bizarre. In a good way. I have played this game the least with Josuke. Or Gappy. Jeez. Hang in there, brother. Come on, come on, come on! Ah, jeez, I'm not gonna survive this. Hey, Noel, have you ever played Persona 4? Yes! And it's good. Yeah, so much talk about balls here. Which is, I mean, it's true. This character has 4 of them, so... You should read. You can actually, if you type in JoJolian on YouTube, you will get some cool narrated manga. And I did actually read a synopsis of one of the more recent chapters that talk about the. There's you know, this universe's version of the Pillar Men. Yes, I get it. Yeah, his bubbles can just steal different things. I mean, he has amnesia at the start of the manga, but he does remember how to use his stand, which is good. So I wonder if it's just going to be if the JoJolian kind of thing is going to be just him fighting the different JoJos. Now, again, it is cool because, like, the more powerful the character, it's like then they'll get things like lipstick or whatever. Or like it's not even lipstick. Their lips will just be different colors, you know. It's like an Andy Warhol painting. But then, I mean, you do see that Prince influence, too, because, Prince was very macho, but he, wore blouses and things, Watch Dave Chappelle for further information. Game blouses. Why don't you and your crew assemble for a game of basketball against me and the revolution? And everywhere he walks, dry ice follows. Retired. So, fun fact about me. I got a tetanus shot yesterday because I stepped on a rusty fence. In Crocs. The most useless shoe ever. Which are now ruined because the one Croc is now filled with blood. They do have Samurai Pizza Cats on Retro Crush. It's the American version, which is fine. I would actually like them to have the Japanese version. Retro Crush is really weird on my game room TV because I basically have my Roku running through a standard definition. I basically have my Roku going through 480i. It's gone from 1080p to 480i on a Sony Trinitron. And for whatever reason, Retro Crush will just freeze for a lot of animes. Like I was trying to watch the new Three Musketeers anime on Retro Crush. It always freezes. I can watch Great Teacher Onizuka and that works. It freezes during the Street Fighter animated movie. I don't know what the hell's going on. But then I was watching Retro Crush on, just a regular high-def TV and it was working fine. I actually have Samurai Pizza Cats on the Nintendo, the NES, the Famicom. My wife actually bought me a repro for Christmas or my birthday. I don't remember, but it's good. It's like a little more localized than I would like, but it's great. It's just great, and the localization of Samurai Pizza Cats is funny. I mean, the Japanese version is also funny. They're just different. It's just different versions of funny. Oh, man, we both did our super moves at the same time. Joseph hit me with his machine gun. One thing I don't understand is, like, Joseph in Season 4, when he's, like, really old, like, in his 80s... Why does he always wear that stupid hat, Like, I mean, it doesn't, like, look horrible, but I think his character would look a lot better if he didn't wear a giant jacket and hat at all times. Like, I know he's supposed to be old, but he's not like a homeless person going into a drugstore. I mean, he's the exact opposite. He's got, like, REO Speedwagon money. I mean, literally, he has REO Speedwagon money. He's part of that legacy, They took liberties, but the writing is funny. So, yes, it is. It makes me wonder if the bulls would be considered as manure. What? Oh, man. Getting my butt kicked here trying to read these hilarious yet nonsensical comments. I've said this before. I am disappointed that the Morio in... the live-action movie did not have a yellow sky, at least not that I've seen. It is an interesting... It's a worthwhile question to ask, though. Doesn't Rocky have an idea in terms of where JoJolian is even going? Because it's been going on for a while, and, I mean, again, I haven't read much of it, but it seems like there is no main antagonist. It's just kind of Josuke's, kind of solving the mystery of himself and fighting new challengers. And, I mean, I'm sure Araki is... I don't know, maybe he's writing it in a way where it's just about solving mysteries and self-discovery. Because, I mean, I was actually listening to a YouTuber talk about that, and he's like, part of that might be because there's no Dio. There was Diego. There was Diego Dio in Steel Ball Run, but he's gone. So I don't know. There's no like Dio or Dio Legacy or Dio Analog in JoJolian, it seems like. But maybe there will be. Who knows? So it looks like we're just going to be going through fighting all the different JoJo's with Gappy here. Do you always start streaming at 10:15? Usually. I usually start streaming at between 9:30 and 10. Yeah, Diego is a fellow traveler on the international channel Awesome Train. So I usually do end up streaming at 10 o'clock. I do actually like to stream a little earlier. Like, ideally, I like to start streaming at 9:30, but it often ends up me streaming at 10 o'clock. On a bad night, I might actually start streaming at 11 o'clock, which I really don't like to do. But yeah, usually between 9:30 and 10. And I'm thinking about just kind of having a stable 2-day schedule of either Tuesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday. A lot of other good YouTubers tend to stream on Friday. It's like Friday night. Like I know Kenny Lauderdale does a stream. Like, I mean, I've mentioned him a lot. He's got a great YouTube channel. Vink from Famicom Dojo actually streams on Saturday mornings. He lives in Japan, so his but I don't know. I mean, if I stream Tuesday, Thursday, that leaves Friday open for less competition. But at the same time, I don't know. There's something nice about streaming on a Friday night too. You know, the homebodies, everyone's at home. You know, you can't really go out. It's hard to go out and, to bars and whatnot. Not that necessarily you should be doing. I mean, you do whatever you want. I don't recommend drunkenness, but I did like to go out when I was single and mingle. But yeah, I don't know. It's fun to do a stream on Friday nights, but it's also, I want to be able to make sure that people can watch too. Not have your attention torn in a million directions. I tend not to stream on Wednesdays because of AEW Dynamite. Because I gotta watch. I really like watching that. I get withdrawals when you don't stream. That's a very big compliment, man. Thank you very much. I'm really glad you like the streams. I've not given up on doing just regular videos too. But definitely the streams have been more prevalent as of late. We're almost at 800 subs. We're knocking on 780. No, we're knocking on 790. We've got 788 right now. Nice, we got him. Soft and wet. Well, I'm glad, well, thank you. I was watching actually one of Justin Wang's streams, and he's really good, and I want to, the kind of YouTuber I want to be is, because I was thinking, it's like his stream is so good, I don't know how mine measures up, but at the same time, like, I just want to have this be a chill space. I want to be a knowledgeable person that shares my enthusiasms and unique eccentricities with like-minded or interested viewers. There's a lot of gaming channels and whatnot that it's, kind of got a corporate tinge to it, or it just kind of seems inauthentic. Not in an authentic way of like, oh, the human will above all else, but like there's kind of an ulterior motive, like IGN or G4, like those are like video game review, channels or sites or whatever that, back in the day I used to go to, and it's like, dude, I don't agree with any of the stuff that you guys are saying because you don't sound like fans. You sound like you're people pushing products. I just like to go to YouTube channels where it's like, oh, wow, these people just genuinely like this stuff. And same thing with pro wrestling, like there's the kind of pro wrestling stuff where or sites where it's like people read the Wrestling Observer and they just parrot whatever Dave Meltzer says. And then there's the people who are like, no, I genuinely like this for different reasons. Like, for example, like if someone says like they like the Dungeon of Doom, I know that they are like legit because Dave Meltzer, like a lot of people like hate the Dungeon of Doom, but like I love the Dungeon. I like the Dungeon of Doom. I think it's fun. Like I actually like 2000s WCW because I was a big WCW fan. And there's a lot of things that, like, in WWE history or Dave Meltzer jargon or whatever, it's like people think certain ways about pro wrestling, but I don't know, man. Like, people just people have different opinions. Like, I disagree with a lot of critics. Like, I used to be like Ebert and Roper or Siskel and Ebert back when I was growing up. It's like they always say these movies sucked, and it's like I don't agree with with you on a lot of these things. Like, for example, Bloodsport, the greatest movie ever made, that got, like, a Razzie Award and was panned credit. Like, screw off, man. Bloodsport's, like, the greatest movie ever. In fact, I've been watching a lot of Bloodsport recently for, like, panel ideas for my manga. We do have the two Josuke's fighting. This is actually very interesting. I do like the Season 4 Josuke better than... I really like Season Josuke's character just a lot. He's one of Araki's favorite JoJo's, and I can definitely see why. He's a very cool guy. He's kind of like a goofy teenager with a pompadour when the pompadours aren't popular. And he's got a very interesting stand. So Gappy seems cool, but I think I'm going to go with the original Josuke over him. We got to knock him out, though. We got to beat Crazy Diamond. I do like how Jotaro was kind of like a side character in Diamond's Unbreakable. But even though he was a side character, he was also the strongest character. Because like they needed him to beat Kira. And he did beat Kira, even though, he's not the protagonist. But I really like that, I like how they didn't like job Jotaro out. But they still got, to use wrestling jargon, they didn't job Jotaro out, but they still got Josuke over. Crazy Diamond. What? Hang on a second, let me pause this. What is happening in the comments here? Diarrhea? What? Okay. Diarrhea, OML, when you said soft and wet. Yes. Totally agree with you, Noel, yes. Noel, did you like Halloween Havoc 95? Yes. The one where the giant fell off the building? Yes. This is my thing, dude. Like, WCW, is that the one with the Yeti, Halloween Havoc 95? I know it's one is that the one, like, the giant fell off the building, and then, like, the Yeti and the giant basically got Hulk Hogan in a dual bear hug, and they looked like they were sexually assaulting him, and that was phenomenal, okay? So this is my deal, okay? I loved WCW in its, like, batshit crazy cartoon phase, because that was when I really, really came of age in pro wrestling, because Hulk Hogan was always my favorite wrestler, and WWF had moved away from Hulk Hogan, and I really like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels a lot, but I was always a big Hulk Hogan fan, and when I just coincidentally tuned into WCW one day, and it was like the first thing I tuned into was Hulk Hogan's ticker tape parade. And so I was like, oh shit, I'm definitely watching this now. I was interested to watch it because I hadn't watched pro wrestling in a while. I figured I'd try something different. I was watching a lot of Atlanta Braves baseball because I was getting into baseball at the time. So I was like, I'm going to check out WCW. And Hulk Hogan came in and I was like, oh, I'm totally tuning into this. And it just got increasingly insane in a way that I really enjoyed. Like, I love the idea of like wrestling being a batshit crazy comic and Hulk Hogan is the main character. That brought me joy like few things. And, the vignettes, Vader teleporting out of the Dungeon of Doom, Hulk Hogan, like, and Kevin Sullivan, like, running and teleporting in and out of the Dungeon of Doom. The Yeti! Yes. No, dude, I love all of that. I am a huge, huge fan of that Dungeon of Doom story arc. And then, like, the dark side of Hulk Hogan, where he was wearing, like, a Phantom of the Opera mask and had a giant sword. Yeah, no, it's just phenomenal. It's great. And then actually, I think that's one of the reasons why the NWO was so impactful, because, like, WCW was so unique and different than the WWF. Even though it had a lot of WWF guys, they were doing different stuff than the WWF. The WWF was going to do like new generation. WCW is going to like, okay, you know what? We're going to take like the legit established guys and our homegrown guys, and we're going to do like 80s style comic book wrestling within the framework of our unique brand. And that was distinct and something different than what WWF was offering, which was like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and Goldust, and which I liked. I mean, it was two different things. And so then when WWF invaded, quote unquote, in the NWO, and like the NWO actually did Vince McMahon's formula better than Vince McMahon. That is how Vince McMahon like drove the AWA out of business. He's like, I'm going to be more AWA than the AWA. And so what the NWO did was like, well, we're going to be more WWF than the WWF. And it's true, they did that. You know, they really got like, it was like the new generation, like apocalypse kind of thing. But then it was led by Hulk Hogan, which was a real interesting twist. Because Hulk Hogan, you know, really was the most iconic WWF guy, and they were able to really turn him in from the ultimate hero into the ultimate supervillain, and really maintain all that kind of power and invincibility that Hulk Hogan had, but now he was using it as a villain rather than as a hero. And that kind of, that stark twist from going to like kind of cartoon batshit crazy storylines in a good way to the grim and gritty, it really felt like a really interesting plot development that kind of a cataclysmic kind of trouble in paradise, you know, kind of situation. And it all logically made sense too, right? You had a real war between the two companies. Everyone wanted to see the two companies fight. Then all of a sudden, you know, you get Nash and Razor, I'm sorry, you get Diesel and Razor Ramon showing up, Nash and Hall. And then the unthinkable happens. You get Hulk Hogan becoming an inversion of himself, and he's just as strong as ever, but he's now using his powers for bad instead of good. And then you have Hulk's old sidekick Sting, who is totally screwed over by Hulk, kind of just go insane and become this brooding hero, and he's the only one that can beat Hulk. You know, the person, you know, the protege is now going to gun for the master, who's terrified of him. And in the meantime, you know, it's like WCW also kind of had it coming too, right? Because the fans booed Hulk. They wronged him, you know? So it's actually like it was like a really interesting, beautiful storyline that kind of organically developed out of this insane comic book world that was really captivating, and then went from like comic book crazy to grim and gritty, but it all made sense. And it was just the best stuff ever on, you know, American television, as far as I'm concerned. You know, like, absolutely, I don't care. I'm sticking by that statement. The mid '90s WCW is just like amazing. I love it. All right, here we go. Hold on, I'm pausing this. Brutus the Barber Beefcake was the Zodiac of the Dungeon of Doom. Yes, no, yes, no. Damn, the creative and random stuff that comes out of your head when you're tired. I'm actually not tired. The WCW talk has actually gotten me really awake and excited. The things you have never thought of before or don't normally. Yes, I actually remember one of my favorite things in WCW actually was before the Dungeon of Doom, when Brutus did Tanya Harding Hulk Hogan. That was one of the greatest things ever. The Clash of the Champions, where Hulk Hogan's like, "Why me? Why?" And then Sting ran out in a tuxedo to save him. It was just amazing. And then, like, you know, I remember like watching all this in my mom's room while she'd be downstairs watching the good TV. I'd be watching this on like this 11-inch black and white TV. I'd be watching like Clash of the Champions and Bloodsport. And it was just great stuff. Gold Experience Requiem. I gotta say, actually, I do not want Gold Experience Requiem, because that's gonna really, you know, F me up. Giorno is Dio's son. I actually really like Giorno because he's like much better than his father. He's like one of the nicest guys ever, and his dad is like the most evil person ever. Which would have been really cool if Giorno got mixed up in Stone Ocean, you know, like really beat the shit out of the bad guys, helped out the gang. But it is what it is. It just kind of happened while Giorno was busy running the Italian mafia. Noel, when you first found out wrestling... Okay, when did you first find out that wrestling was quote unquote fake. I mean, always was, suggested that wrestling was fake. I don't ever remember a time when, I don't know, man. Like, I think I always remember hearing wrestling being, like, it's more like, is wrestling fake? It was always, like, questioned, like, is wrestling fake? And it was just assumed that it was fake, but then there was always the kind of, like, well, wrestling's fake, but maybe this is real. Or, yeah, this is fake, but it's still entertaining. Or maybe they're getting so mad at each other that something's going off and now it's real, So there was always that kind of playfulness. And it really kind of goes with the philosopher Jean Baudrillard, right? The idea of fake, the kind of the simulation being better than reality, and what's real and what's not real. So Jolene, all right. So, to answer your question, I don't know. I always remember wrestling's authenticity being questioned, and it wasn't. I would say it wasn't really until the early 2000s when there just wasn't even the pretense that it was real anymore. I remember, like, once they started doing that, the WWE Uncensored show with that Mean Gene hosted, then they were really kind of, then they were really just kind of admitting things. Now, I mean, you always have those shoot interviews and the dirt sheets and whatnot. So, and my best friend in junior high school, actually, we're still best friends, but we don't talk as much. He'd always go on the websites and stuff and see the rumors of who's going where and who, Ultimate Warrior's coming in. The Undertaker's coming to WCW. Wait, no, he's not. Shawn Michaels wants to come. No, he's not. If Shawn Michaels had come to WCW, then that really would have screwed Vince, because Shawn Michaels would have had people to work with. The problem with Bret Hart was that he was in the Sting creatively was in Bret Hart's spot. So basically, Bret Hart had two options. Either Hogan had to step aside or Sting had to step aside. And neither one of them wanted to do that. So it was creatively hard to put Bret Hart in there. And I think the reason that Vince would not let Owen go is because that would have given Bret Hart someone to work with. And so Bret Hart was just kind of there, and, they weren't smart enough to utilize him properly. But yeah, that's the thing. A body slam, so everything still hurts. Like, that's the thing about pro wrestling is, like, the art form of it is basically you have to fight and make it look entertaining, and you have to know how to. I mean, in some sense, pro wrestling can be worse than real fighting, because it's like, I feel like if you, like, in a real fight, you are always trying to block and whatnot, but in pro wrestling, you're sometimes just giving your face to someone, and if they want to be a jerk, like, this isn't even about who's tough and who's not. I mean, I guess if you're tough and it's like, if you want to try to, stiff me, I can take your crap, But, like, I remember hearing, like, Hardcore Holly, like, trying to, like, be jerks to new guys and stuff like that. It's like, dude, you're not tough. They're intentionally letting you hit them, okay? So, I don't know. I mean, in that sense, pro wrestling can be more dangerous. Plus, you're trying to do more and more spectacular moves. Like, I'm going to go flip. That's one thing, too, is, like, about pro wrestling now. It's like, you always hear, like, Disco Inferno and Conan talk about this on their podcast, is that, there's a lack of psychology and an overwhelming amount of acrobatics. If you watch Hulk Hogan in TNA, which I'm a big fan of, that's another thing that people shit all over. I actually really loved Hulk Hogan's TNA run. That was my favorite show to watch for when Hogan was there. If you watch Hogan and Sting in TNA, and Hulk's like, oh, you can't let that be my last match. Like, well, you kind of could, because you did very little and had the crowd in the palm of your hand. And, like, that is a testament to Hulk Hogan's talent, because Hulk Hogan did more just, doing his ear thing and some selective punches and just knowing how to play the bad guy and working the crowd. Just very, very little stuff, and he could just be the most entertaining thing on the show. And then you have, these other wrestlers who are quote unquote good workers, and I get where they're coming from, because they're like, well, I'm killing myself. and this guy's doing nothing, and I deserve it more than him. And it's like, well, yes and no. You know, it's like, are you willing to put your body in danger? Yes. Is that a good thing? Not necessarily. The key is to get a reaction. The key is not to do like a million backflips and cheese grade yourself, you know? Like, that's not what this is. The object is to be entertaining. ECW is to blame for a lot of this. Because, you know, that's the whole, like, oh my god, it's real. It's like, well, it's not real. You're doing real pain to yourself, but that doesn't make it more entertaining. You know, I mean, if it's done in a way that tells an interesting story, and you're willing, and you have confidence in your athleticism and your stunt skills and your ability to withstand pain, then it's like, I mean, I'll watch you and engage in the story, but it doesn't have to be that way. And I don't respect you for endangering yourself for the sake of endangering yourself, you know? That said, I mean, Sabu is like one of my favorite wrestlers. I think Sabu's cool as hell. I get to kind of glancingly meet Sabu at a wrestling show. He seems super cool. I did get to meet Sting. I got to talk to Sting for about 10 minutes. And that is one of the highlights of my life. Ah, man. Okay, what do you think about CM Punk? I like CM Punk, but I think he bought his own hype and got his ass kicked. I think CM Punk is arrogant. And he's one of those guys that, like, again, kind of thought that, well, because I'm tough at pro wrestling, I'm just tough. I'm tough in real life. And, but apparently, like, UFC just offered him a shit ton of money, and he really was interested in mixed martial arts. And so if UFC's saying, hey, we want you, okay, you know, like, I get it. I get why he did it. And he seems to have been humble. Like, fighting does that, man. It humbles you. And he definitely went from, I think, coming off as being an arrogant pro wrestler who bought his own hype and bought his own, the fans and the dirt sheets fawning over him and actually thinking he was a tough guy, to actually stepping into a world filled with tough guys, and he was willing to put himself through what it took to live in that world and continues to do so. So, I mean, I definitely have a lot more respect for him now that he went out there and got his ass kicked, and walked the walk, and it sacrificed and did the training, and so I mean, I respect him, but I think some of his legacy in pro wrestling is kind of arrogant. I think he's overrated a bit on the mic. He's good. He's definitely different. He stood out from other people at the time. He was refreshing when John Cena was getting shoved down everyone's throat, and they tried to make him like the next Hulk Hogan. CM Punk seemed a little bit more spontaneous, which was enjoyable. Johnny Joestar. It's Jonathan 2.0. And this time he's crippled and on a horse and wears blue lipstick. He was drawn into the world of women and being a famous jockey. And then, some crazy guy shot him in the back because he budged in line. And now he's in a horse race to assemble Jesus and overtake a corrupt president with his protege. He's the protege with his mentor, who is the master of the spin. Anyway, what was I talking about? This is before I got sidetracked down all that crazy steel ball run stuff. This is the 2-second dimension JoJo's. Oh, CM Punk. Hang on. Am I going to watch Tyson versus Joy Jones? Mike Tyson is my favorite athlete ever. At least in terms of being the most influential on me, because I love to box. I just train in boxing. I've been doing it for about 2 years, but with Corona, I got to train by myself. But the peekaboo style of boxing, I think, is one of the most beautiful fighting styles ever, and it's one that I really enjoy practicing. And I think if Mike Tyson's head is on straight, he's unstoppable. Ever since CM Punk left WWE, I stopped watching wrestling. That is about the time WWE became unwatchable. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, like CM Punk, man, like I got respect for him as a fighter, and I don't think that people should crap on him because it's like, dude, like you. These people are, oh, you got your butt kicked in the UFC. UFC is the most elite fighting league in this country, okay? What the hell are you gonna do? Like, I mean, CM Punk's someone who like trains with top tier fighters, and training itself is just difficult. You know, like I mean, getting in a ring is really difficult and risky, but training in and of itself also, and being a part of that tribe and pushing yourself to new limits. I mean that, and then getting in the ring and win, lose or draw. I mean you should be. He deserves respect. But as a wrestler, I think he's got was like arrogant at the time and could act like a jerk. And that whole like I'm a Paul Heyman guy thing, like again, that kind of tells me again that he was kind of buying into the dirt sheet hype, like, because Paul Heyman, like, he seems like a really creative guy, but he also seems like a tremendous sleazebag who endangers his talent's welfare and doesn't pay them. Which, again, it's easy for me to say as a fan that is looking at this from afar, you know? So, yes, I'm going to watch Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., and I really hope Tyson wins. I actually really wanted Tyson to fight Holyfield again. See, I looked at both of their training tapes, and Holyfield did not look ready for Tyson. And I really would like Tyson to get some vengeance, because I don't think Tyson's head was... Holyfield is really good, and I take nothing away from Holyfield's talent, but it's clear that Mike Tyson's head was, not on straight, and this is the thing with Mike Tyson, dude. Like, Customato said, the only person who can beat Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson, and that proved to be true. If Tyson doesn't, if Tyson can keep his perspective, stay respectful, stay focused, stay disciplined, stay wise, stay moving, use that insane, crippling power that he can unleash on people, he'll win. If he doesn't, and he loses heart, and starts getting frustrated, and then it's his style. If you don't move your head and parry a lot, you're gonna start taking a lot of hits, and you might start getting frustrated, A, or B, tired of just getting hit, and eventually it's gonna catch up with you. But his style, it's a good. If you're like, okay, I'm 5'9", 210. I weighed myself today. That kind of like Tyson is same type of build, but definitely more jacked and stronger and faster than me. No question on any plane of reality, right? And it's like I feel comfortable using that style. Imagine someone being trained by the greatest trainer ever with just a kind of a freakish genetic aptitude. Like if you just watch Tyson's '80s fights, like when he was working with Kevin Rooney and Customato, like you're not beating him. Once he left Rooney, it was all downhill. But he still had that monster talent though that he could draw on the residue of. So yeah, Tyson, I mean, whatever he does or doesn't do in his personal life, like I respect him as an athlete, and I think he's one of the most interesting fighters to watch, just ever. And I model my training on his fighting style. I haven't gotten to do jiu-jitsu at all since the lockdown. So is Johnny the final boss here? Or am I going to fight two Josuke's? It's actually weird. I don't know if Johnny's more... I don't know if Johnny's harder to fight on or off the horse. Because, yes, he's paralyzed, but he's also harder to hit. But then when he's on the horse, you're getting hit by a horse. Ah, crap. Come on, come on, come on. That hit. Yes, Lisa is hot as hell. Her bathtub scenes are great. They got a little bit of a Back to the Future vibe with her and Joseph. Alright, we got him. No, new episode. So I guess we're fighting two Josuke's, or what's going on here? Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Defeated the seventh man, also absorbed into the earth where he disappeared from sight. Continuing with his search of the walleyes, Josuke witnesses yet another figure emerge from the ground. It's none other than Josuke Higashikata himself. The other Josuke seems surprised to see his twin here, but quickly readies himself and his bubbles. Players' attack power boosted. Players' defense boosted. Enemies HH. Gauge refills. This is going to get interesting. I'm going to bring out soft and wet here. You know, Lisa's a really good-looking girl in JoJo, but you know, I'm blanking on her name. Which I know, it's like Rigumi or something. You know, Kira's first victim. She's probably my favorite JoJo girl, the one in the alley with the dog. Darn it! Come on, how is he blocking that? Dude, he's got his back turned. Come on, there we go. I used to think big lips on anime characters didn't work, but JoJo makes it work well. Yes, agreed. I mean, I mean that's one thing in my art that I've been doing now is I'm starting to give every character lips. Slam Dunk, Inoue's style, also was able to do that well. Put lips on characters. Yeah, I'll show you guys how my manga is progressing, and you know, you may or may not be interested, but I'll show it anyway. Viewer count drops substantially. I'm just now getting into the fight climax, so we'll see how that goes. Well, that's cool. I hit his stand, and that still got him. I really like how they have the manga panels to kind of accentuate the action. In addition to just the scenes from the manga interfering with the fight. Man. So close. That should get him. Final round. Okay. You know the really good YouTube channel? Puro Wave. It's like pro wrestling vaporwave videos. Check it out. It's good stuff. They need to do a Hulk Hogan one, though. They need to get some Ichiban. If you haven't watched Hulk Hogan versus Great Muta, I've got that full match on my channel. And thank God it hasn't been taken down. I actually pieced it together from YouTube clips that I taped back in the early 2000s. Not early 2000s, early 2010s. Not even. Must have been like 2000, either 2009, 2010, I think is when I taped that. So if you want to see what YouTube looked like back in that time period, and see the greatest wrestling match ever, in my opinion, check it out on my channel. Softo and the wet. Ah, come on! Dude, that is some freaking BS. This is not good. Not good, not good. Just gonna kind of try to keep hitting him with my stand here. There we go. That's not good. Shoot. No, he didn't get me, though. Dude, come on. Ah, I couldn't get out of the way. Comments are coming in slow. Crazy how it was already 12 years ago. Damn, time flies. So, are the comments coming in slow just in general, or are the comments coming in slower? So you guys are typing them in the YouTube chat, and then they're just not showing up right away on Prism. We're close, man. We're almost at the end of the game. Yeah, well, once we get 1,000 subs, I mean, I like Prism because I like being able to see the comments on the screen. But, I mean, it would be nice to have the option to just stream directly through YouTube. Since, you know, we peons with under 1,000 subs have not merited the right to stream mobily, which is increasingly the way to go. If you want convenience. Man, freaking... I mean, I guess it makes sense that he's being really super annoying, because he's the final boss here. The worst is Vanilla Ice. He's such a pain in the neck. Like, an annoying guy who kills your favorite characters wearing, like, a women's one-piece bathing suit. That's Vanilla Ice in JoJo. He's not as cool as the actual Vanilla Ice. I mean, like, his appearance wouldn't bother me so much if he didn't kill Iggy and Abdul. A chat delay comes out a bit. Comments are coming in. Okay. Chat delay always comes out with a bit of a delay. Rogue sound reference, haha. Mine's coming as soon as I send it. Oh, well done. Okay, good deal. There we go. Okay, we're almost got him. Come on, come on. There we go. Mitch Fizzle. I have no idea who Mitch Fizzle is. I don't know who any of my friends on PlayStation are. I don't play online, really, so, like, I have no idea what's going on as far as my PlayStation buddies. Remember, like, I played a couple times with some friends on PlayStation Network, but I don't know. I'm an only child, so... Well, not anymore, because my mom got married, but that was until I was 28. So I grew up as an only child. And I'm just used to playing by myself, usually, as far as my video games go. Just chilling. Chilling on a Saturday afternoon. Watching Highlander, WCW Saturday Night. My PlayStation and/or Sega Saturn and/or Sega Genesis. Come on. Doing well-ish. Almost got him. Dude, I blocked that. That is some BS, man. Well, we both had the same idea there. If I can hold out for 7 more seconds. No! Oh, come on! He beat me by like a freaking fraction. I did do some artwork on DeviantArt. It's been a long time, and I'm a lot better now than when I posted on there. I don't think I posted on DeviantArt in. I mean, it's been at least 3 years. But I do have an account there. Gosh darn it. Oh, good. He got beaten up by his girlfriend's psycho friend. Yeah, I should kind of update my DeviantArt. Yeah, check it out. I mean, it was probably Noel ComiX or Noel 0083. Or Second Noel. I don't know, one of those things. My really old name that I used to do internet art under was Kyoko Izumi. Man, we are so close to beating him. Alright, let's see if this actually works here. There we go. Take that throw right there. And then take these punches to the face. Oh, I got punched in the face. Well done, clone. Darn it. Tried to lure him in. You're in my range. You're not going to beat me. You're out of time, and I win. Still don't get anything. It's just like when I was found here. Any plans? Yeah, sure, dude. I can try to draw now if you want. How much would you charge for a commission to make a manga on anything? I have no idea, but I would. Making a manga is work. But drawing something, I can get that right done. I just found second Noel on DeviantArt. Okay, so it is second Noel. Okay. It's me, I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure that's me. You should really update and get your name out in the Insta world with your live streams and stuff. Your art, you could do something. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Insta live streams. I should. Yeah, no, we'll do an art thing right now, I guess. So we beat JoJo's here. As a reward for completing the story, a new backtrack has been added to the audio arena. JoJo's The End. There's Koichi with his manga face there. Josuke has bested the mysterious gauntlet of 8 fighters. However, he still hadn't found out anything he wanted to know. I still don't know anything. Nothing's changed from when I was found here to begin with. Suddenly he remembers the girl who found him. Hirose Yaso. Maybe she could tell him something. And so Josuke decides to go see Yaso. To be continued. So yeah, that's the game. You get the big credits. Connect Insta and YouTube. I'll look into doing that. So you're saying I can connect my YouTube to my Instagram and my live streams will show up on Instagram? Is that what you're saying? Or just try to promote my live streams on my Instagram? Because my Instagram is like, I don't know if my Instagram is public or private. I kind of go back and forth on it. Because I upload family stuff on there. I don't care about sharing family stuff with the public as long as, you know, there aren't like crazy psycho people, but I mean my son is on my YouTube channel. I mean, we have fun with that. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm down for various ways to improve self-promotion. I'll promote myself more on Insta. Connect Insta and YouTube. Okay, well, I'll look into it for sure. So we get kind of a cool, reenactment in PlayStation PS triple graphics here of the various climaxes of the manga. You see Kira get run over by an ambulance. I began calling it Killer Queen. Baitsu the Dust. That is an iconic manga cover right there. It's a Gold Experience Requiem. Yeah, Golden Wind, that's a good one. The stand fights in that are very, very, very creative. Jolene. Stone Free. I do like Poochie, because at least in terms of his stand being called Whitesnake. Whitesnake is absolutely one of my favorite groups. It's the Steel Ball Run. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I'll look into that. Rogue Drums. Alright, well, there are all the JoJo's. And our wonderful congratulations screen. Ooh, staff credits have been added to the gallery mode. Well done. A new 2D model has been added to the artwork viewer. Good deal. Reimi Sugimoto. That's what I was thinking of. I don't know what I called her, Rigumi or whatever. I don't know. Ooh, we do get an extra episode. Bao the Visitor. Cool. All right. Well, if you guys wanted to see me do some kind of a live draw, we can try to do that. I'll see. Okay, so now back in the day, I used to actually have one of those old flip quarters, and I used to actually hold it in one hand and hold it over the paper and draw. Here's the last few pages of my manga, if you're interested or whatever. So this is the most recent page. So we're starting our final climax here. We have the protagonist and antagonist getting ready to throw hands, and we're getting ready to go into the fighting scenes. So here's the page before that. So this has got to be scanned in black and white for the Shonen Jump Tetsuka contest. I actually drew all the judges. I just keep doing that. I keep drawing the judges as background characters to try to grab their attention, and just because I think it's fun. So, so the villain is based on Tamori from Music Station, and the protagonists and antagonists are based on Downtown from Hey 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 Music Champ. But then my son and I also end up having our kind of personalities projected on the designs. So I've got a Hey 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 shirt and the Ned Flanders I Love Webster shirt. So, this is just what's going on. And we're kind of like looking at it in reverse. So here we have, locking one of the bad guys in a broom closet right here. so, here we have some of that. This is the scene where that happens. I kind of used the whole, Dr. Hibbert punching Hugo through, to kind of as inspiration for that scene from The Simpsons. Get your free matcha lattes. So, there's that page. So, this right here is based on a real life event. So, I minored in women's history. It's a long story. And, the class, I was, the only guy filled in a class with militant feminists. And there was a spider in the room, and they alternated 1950s housewives just freaking out. So, I basically kind of included that into the comic book here. So, yeah, so the whole thing will get turned into black and white, and, then I'll get it so that the yellow sketch lines are, not prominent. So, yeah, and then here's the page after that. I couldn't bring myself to actually kill the spider, though, in the comic, because I thought he was so cute, so I just make him kind of you see him bandaged up in the following panels. So, there you go. You want to not pay for your next pizza? Sure. Okay, so yeah, there's the manga thus far. Those are some pages. Yeah, that's what we've got. I've got about 15 pages left to play with in order to finish the story. Might be 14 pages now, actually. Yeah, so there's that. Will the manga contest be like Shark Tank? So basically the manga contest is... So, the big Tetsuka contest that Shonen Jump does, which is where all the big mangaka get found, pretty much. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I mean, this is the big Shonen Jump contest. It's being done internationally, and Metabang is this app that Shonen Jump works with, and they're making the Tetsuka contest international. So once I saw that, I was like, I have to compete in it. I originally was going to actually compete in Kodansha's not Rising Stars of Manga. That was the old Tokyo Pop contest. I was originally going to compete in the Silent Manga contest, and I had a whole story for that ready to go. And then I saw the Shonen Jump contest and was like, I have to do this because Akira Toriyama is one of the judges, and I just want him to be able to see my stuff. So yeah, you should definitely do a drawing from International Channel anime characters. Ooh, that's going to be tricky. Well, you know what? I don't know, man. I do have that Earthian book. Maybe we can grab... oh, hey, look. Kimba the White Lion is playing right here, so... Look, it's Mufasa kicking ass. So, I mean, you know, The Lion King was like just a complete ripoff of Kimba, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, Tetsuka definitely needs Tetsuka. The Tetsuka studio is also one of the judges here. So here's this is an Earthian art book that I have. Hamachan, yeah, yes, we are trying to save the world from a villainous Tamori. So I don't know, man. Let's see. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do this here, unless maybe I can. If I can put it up on the wall and draw. I don't know, man. Maybe I can just like do this. Yeah, that could work. Okay. Who should I draw? I guess so. We'll just draw someone from Earthian. Yun Koga has such an ornate style. It's actually really cool. While I draw my manga, Santino draws next to me. So this is what Santino's been working on. This is, I think, damn aesthetically pleasing, especially for a 3-year-old. So yeah, good stuff. All right. So we got Earthian here. Let's try to find something interesting. Ooh, man, look at this. She's got such a pretty freaking style. Yun Koga or Akira Toriyama. I almost don't want to bend this book. I'm afraid of, like, holding it open. I guess if I put, like, a remote control on one of the pages or something. Man, look at the thing about Yun Koga, like, she draws some of her men as women. So I don't actually know what character I'm even looking at. This is Kagetsuya and Chaya. Takako. I could draw Takako from Earthian. Thanks. That's a TM Network shirt right there. I forgot there was a manga on the back of this. That's Cliff right there from episode 2. Alright, well, I gotta think of something. Toriyama to make do a crow. Yeah, I'm sure. Camera doesn't rotate to the other side. I don't know, man. This camera, it auto rotates, so. Alright, let's just pick something to draw here. We'll draw Kagetsuya. Alright, so we'll do something kind of fun. We're actually going to get a One Punch Man comic and weigh down this picture of Kagetsuya. And I'll just kind of use this as a rough model here. And we'll draw that. So I always like to start off. Sometimes if I'm doing like a, depending on the situation, I'll just go straight Sharpie. But for this, I don't know. Let's just start off. I'll hold this like this. Cliff and Blair are my favorites. Yeah, episode 2 is good. What the hell? Let's just get moving and grooving. We'll just dive in. Do like an upper torso of Kagetsuya here. I don't know, like, if I'm going to totally draw this in her style or my style. I'll probably end up doing some kind of amalgamation of the two. If you actually watched the last live stream, we actually did a kind of an unboxing, actually, of different things that I got at my favorite comic shop that I actually do draw at. And actually, there are some videos on my channel of me drawing at the comic shop. What the hell? She's got, like, Legion of Doom arm things on Kagetsuya here. I'm just gonna have, I don't know, I'm just gonna give him like a robe there. Yeah, I really like Yun Koga's artwork here. And the first two Earthian OVAs had some great music and pretty animation. The last ones were kind of weird, though. They're kind of whiny. Alright. So there's that. And now we're going to pencil it in. Yes, everyone thought Chaya... I thought Chaya was a girl at first. Chaya should have been a girl. Then it turned into some weird, like, yo-y thing, but... the first two were cool. Alright, here we go. Alright, we're going to use this chisel Sharpie. Hopefully it goes well. I mean, there are times when Chaya is... I mean, in, like, the first anime, and, like, the first episodes, like, Chaya is... You can tell Chaya's not a girl, more or less, but alright, here we go. But yeah, Chaya's kind of indistinguishable from a girl. But I do like Kagetsuya. I don't know, man. I think I like the first episode of Earthian the best. But I really like because the closing credits in the second episode, and that artwork, that Yun Koga art gallery is phenomenal. Well, now that I'm learning how to do a drawing video with this cell phone, it might actually be easier to do more drawing videos on the channel. I haven't done one of those in a while, man. I haven't done some drawing videos in a minute. Mainly because I haven't felt like I had the technology to do them, but, you know, now that we're kind of figuring out a way I can, like, hold the cell phone in one hand and draw with the other. To actually get more of these going here. I'm gonna say I want to. Hang on a second. She's got, like, Chaya's head is covering up this arm. So let me see how I want to do this here. Alright. That'll have to do. And then he's got, like, armor. Okay, so it's like armored here. Alright. And then hang on. So I'm going to try to keep this kind of in her style here. I do like these 80s gesture lines very much. And I'll add a little extra eyeliner on, eyelash on Kagetsuya here. Hopefully that won't, like, kill the picture, but trying to get the eyes to pop a little bit. I don't know. Is that okay? There's Kagetsuya right there. And will give us a sign. Noel 2020. So there's Kagetsuya from Earthian. Quick drawing. Way to kind of end the stream, I guess. There was like to add those like 80s shapes. A couple triangles there. Maybe a square. I don't know. Hey Noel, do you know the music in the 3rd and 4th episode of Earthian is the same music that was in Ninja Cadets? Girls Sunshine is a great song. I have the Ninja Cadets DVD. Ooh. Is Girls Sunshine not on YouTube? Because it used to be. Because I've got the Ninja Cadets DVD, and that's got Girls Sunshine on it. That is a good-ass song. Getting a tripod, putting it over the art would be a really nice investment. Yeah, definitely, for sure. Yes, I should do that. So Maki Ichihara did the closing credit, did The Destinies, which was the really good song from the 4th episode of Earthian. Did she do Girl Sunshine too? It sounds like a different singer, but I don't know. I remember when you drew Sakura from Ninja Cadets, the very first videos. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, hopefully that Kagetsuya, you could, follow along and, so here it is. I don't know. I mean, woo. So, yeah, there's Kagetsuya from Earthian. And, now, in the, how I've been drawing more recently has been, more kind of influenced by Araki. You can see I've got more of the, I don't know. Yeah, so this is the most recent panel. I've kind of combined the... So how Mario was the judge in, like the referee in Punch-Out? I've kind of fused Mario and then the referee in Bloodsport. So there's that. So I don't know. I use a tripod for drum videos. Yes, Girl Sunshine is an amazing song. So I don't know, man. Yeah, there's something. I mean, take it or leave it. Hopefully you guys take it. So cool. All right. So I'll say this. We have beaten thoroughly. Thank you. I'm glad you liked that. We've thoroughly beaten JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And we did a live draw, which is good. And it's pushing 12:30, and we've been going for 2 hours. So I think we'll wrap it up with that. And so I'll probably it'll be Thursday or Friday for the next stream. Just keep an eye out. I'm trying to just figure out what day I'll work better. And we'll just we'll see how it goes. I'm thinking, once again, like 2 days a week. I think is going to be a good balance of, everything. So, cool. Guys, I very much appreciate you tuning in and sharing my interests and sharing your personalities and comments and supporting the channel. So, thank you very much. And I'm not falling asleep, which is also good. Some of these some of these live streams, when they go a little late, I start rambling incoherently. Or start rambling about having wings and the elf man in the corner, and which it is funny seeing me ramble incoherently. Good night to all. Thank you so much for your friendship and support. Keep tuned into the channel for more live streams and reviews, and we'll do more drawing videos now that I am getting a little more familiar with how to angle the camera over and draw in real time. So until next time, my name is Noel. Thank you once again, and I will see you all in the very near future. Of course, you're probably all liked and subscribed, but if you're watching this, like and subscribe. If you're not liked and subscribed, like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell. Get a good night's sleep and drink plenty of water. But not right before you go to bed, because then you'll probably pee the bed. I'm going to go now. Take care. Bye-bye.